recording or interpretation of information from study process.
Okay.
Can affect every type of epidemiology study. May occur when interviewers are not blinded to the exposure or outcome status of one.
Okay, so when we're talking about not blinded, okay, this means that the interviewer knows, okay? So they know who's exposed, who's not exposed, who's diseased, who's not diseased, who has the outcome, who doesn't have the outcome, okay? So this just means not blinded means, the opposite of not blinded means they know. All right, again, like Mosa said, interviewer bias can happen in any type of study. Right here. Right here. Interviewer's knowledge of subject's disease status may result in differential probing of exposure history. Okay? That differential probing, okay, this means that I probe more thoroughly. Okay? I know the outcome, right? I know their disease status, yes or no. So my probing is a little bit more thorough than it probably needs to be. Okay, so we're going off script a little bit. Okay, so I start asking, questions, and when you go out and you're participating in a study, or you're on a study team, okay, and you're conducting interviews, usually there's a script, okay? There's a script that's approved by the IRB that should be followed. Usually there's training that should be conducted before one goes out to conduct an interview, okay? So interviewers on a team should be conducting their interviews in a systematic, okay, fashion, okay? And it should be the same, okay? You shouldn't lead a question, so on and so forth, right? All right, but if an interviewer comes in and starts probing, okay, you're going off script, so you should ask 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. But then you feel like you need to ask a little bit more, okay? You need to be more thorough than your colleagues, which goes beyond what we're asking for, correct? All right, here we have interviewer bias, okay? All right, differential probing, okay, means probing more thoroughly, okay, than is expected or required. Right. All right, and this can be the same, okay? So interviewer's knowledge of subject's exposure history may result in differential probing and recording of the outcome under examination. So here, the interviewer knew, okay, or knows about the disease status, right? So the thorough or the more thorough probing comes in, okay, so they're asking questions, more questions about the person's exposure, okay, or exposure history. Do you see that? Okay, on the other hand, if I already know, okay, if you, the interviewer, okay, if you already know what the exposure history is, you may ask more questions, okay, about the outcome, right? So it works both ways, right? Okay, so you may start, and remember, we're going off script, okay? So more thorough. You've been assigned one job, right? Ask these questions in this manner. And you take it upon yourself to ask more questions that you think, okay, you may just be being nosy. Let's just not let's not say that all researchers are perfect. You may be being nosy, and see, you introduce your own biases into the study, okay? And here, that would be interviewer bias, right? Now, one thing that we could do, okay, is placebo control, okay, where the investigator or the interviewer does not know who the disease status or the exposure status of the participants, okay? They are blinded, okay? That's one way to control or address this particular bias, all right? So, a popular form of information bias is recall bias. You hear it all the time, I'm sure, okay? Especially when using survey data, okay? Recall bias. All right, Brianna?
Definition of recall bias. Study group participants systematically differ in the way data on exposure outcome are recalled.
Okay, and what we can add here is or remembered. Okay, so recall or remembered. Recall or remembered. Okay, go ahead.
Particularly problematic in case control studies. Individuals who have experienced a disease or an adverse health outcome may tend to think about possible causes of the outcome. This can lead to differential recall.
Okay. Recall bias is most commonly found, okay, in studies on birth defects. Okay, most commonly found when studying birth defects. All right, Christiana. You looked at me, and you got it. All right. All right, give us our next example, go ahead.
Okay, example, case control study, outcome cleft palate, exposure systemic infection during pregnancy, cases, mothers giving birth to children with cleft palate, controls, mothers giving birth to children free of cleft palate.
All right.
Bias, mothers who have given birth to a child with cleft palate may recall more thoroughly colds and other infections experienced during pregnancy.
Exactly, okay? Conversely, mothers with normal pregnancies, okay, or pregnancies that are considered normal, may have forgotten this information, okay? So mothers with normal pregnancies may have forgotten this information. All right. And something else that you can think about. Okay, so this one was specific to a mother who had a child with cleft palate, right? But when we're thinking about recall bias, okay, and we said that it was most commonly found in studies on birth defects, same thing applies. So if I'm a mother of a case, okay, so a case of cleft palate, right? Then a mother of a case is probably more likely to have spent a considerable amount of time. That's when you think about it, right? So more likely to have spent more time or a considerable amount of time pondering, okay? Pondering my child's illness, okay? Compared to a mother whose child was considered normal. Okay, so you're thinking about all of the things that could have been wrong, okay? Could have done this, okay? I can remember, okay, I gave her Sudafed at this time, children's Benadryl at this time, and then I didn't, okay? Or the mom whose day-to-day, okay, is a little bit different. You may not have the time to reflect on all of those things. But a mother of a child who has an issue, okay, may document more thoroughly, okay? You know, you have notebooks, okay, on everything, whereas someone else, you know, they're fine, okay, they got vaccinated, I'm good, okay? So just keep that in mind. All right, so that's recall bias. I think the next one is reporting bias, correct? Right? Go ahead, Tamara.
Selective suppression or revealing of information such as past history of sexually transmitted disease.
Okay, right, hold up right real quick. Okay, what I want you to highlight is selective suppression, okay? Selective suppression. suppression. Selective suppression. Selective suppression. All right, the reason I want you to highlight that is because, let's go back one slide. 2 slides. All right? Are recalled or remembered, okay? So, systematically different in the way data on exposure or outcomes are recalled or remembered. So I could just be getting older, and I may not be able to remember things as well as I could 20 years ago, all right? Or I'm a mother, a child with a disability, and I remember everything, okay? So here, this is where recall bias comes in, okay? So differentiate between the two. Next, 2 slides, please. Okay, selective suppression. I didn't have a problem remembering, okay? I just tell you, okay? I told you what I thought you needed to hear. You understand what I'm saying? Selective suppression. I remember it just fine. But what I reported, you get what I'm saying? What I reported may have been different, okay? Maybe I deviated from the truth, I don't know. Maybe I didn't tell you how many cigarettes I smoked. I may have smoked 2 packs per day, but I told you 1, okay? You get what I'm saying? All right, so it's selective suppression. Go ahead.
Often occurs because subjects' reluctance to reporting exposure due to attitudes, beliefs, and perception.
Okay.
Wish bias may occur only among subjects who have developed a disease and seek to show that the disease is not their fault.
Okay, so the question that's often asked here is, why me?